Welcome back to Island Life Live. We are so stoked to have Surfers Hall of Fame inductee, Maui native Kai Lenny in the Hale. How's it, brother?
Hi, brother. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Thanks for having me.
we were telling people, oh, Kai Lenny going to be on the show. Everybody's like, what? Oh, man, that's a huge get. So that's so awesome. Thank you for being here. Now, you have so many accolades when it comes to surfing and water sports. But today, because, you're always in search for that perfect wave, you travel. You're a world traveler. So we wanted to, and you're also a FHB Priority Destination spokesperson. So we kind of wanted to tap into that today. Can you share some of your pro tips when you're traveling around the world?
Yeah, it just depends on the day. It depends on the year. Sometimes my trips are what we call strike missions, chasing the really big waves, and I won't know I'm leaving until 2 hours before.
Wow.
So I have to be able to book everything quick. I might not even book a hotel or a car until I actually land where I'm going.
Oh, that's spooky.
Even if you land somewhere and you have to go, and then there's the other side, which is like the family side, where I have 3 kids and my wife, and everything's planned out, and it definitely helps, to do it like with the family, to have everything super planned out, and packing can be really important, of course, making sure we have like 6 activities to rotate every half hour for those long flights. And while I still travel mainly, for big wave surfing, not as much with the family. All the kids are 3 under 3.
Wow.
So traveling is part of our lives, and we're very blessed we get to do it.
I love it. Can we focus a little bit on those strike missions?
Yeah.
Because I think it's amazing that you have to, they're like, massive swell is coming in and it's in another country, right? So do you have kind of like Davey and I, we kind of consider ourselves doomsday preppers, and we have our little go bags. Do you kind of have like that kind of a thing, like a go bag ready to go all the time?
I have a pretty detailed list that, because a lot of the stuff that I am using on these trips, I'm using here at home as well. I'm training on it. As far as like packing like clothes, I don't need much for a 2-day strike mission, so it's pretty easy, the suitcase. But for example, in the wintertime, I go and surf Nazaré in Portugal, and that's like 24 hours of travel to get there.
Wow.
And I only find out, a couple days before the swell event is going to happen, or the competition. So I have to be able to get on a plane, land the day before, jet lagged, and then, try to challenge myself to some waves that are, 50, 60 plus feet tall. And once you get over that, fear of, maybe drowning in these giant waves, you just hope your boards and all your equipment make it.
Make it back.
Last minute. And
absolutely.
the last trip I had, none of my equipment made it. So I ended up, luckily it's good to have a lot of friends around the world, and I was able to hey,
can I borrow your board?
Borrow your board, borrow your booties. Do you have an inflation vest? And my gear showed up the day I was leaving back home, so I didn't even unpack.
Wow.
But you know what? Unfortunately, now just about everywhere you can go, you can, if you have a good credit card, you can go get some clothes at least, and have a shirt on your back. But it's part of traveling, and it kind of adds to the story, your own life story when you look back at it.
All your adventures.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that, though. Like having that good credit card, especially that FHB Priority Destinations card, that is super important. And from what I understand, they also, having that card can cover some of your like TSA,
Totally.
pre-check.
Well, so like international, it's super important. Actually, within Hawaii too. If you're a local and you want to travel in between the islands, my recommendation's always been don't fly in the middle of the day, because that's when all the mainland flights are, and it gets pretty busy. But the TSA, you can kind of cut through the line and get straight to the front. But then, with the card, they basically cover your entire application fee and everything. So I don't travel anywhere without the TSA pre-check, but then global entry, because a lot of the connections between these flights, and when we're trying to get to a place to surf really good waves, you definitely want to be able to, make your flight and not be stuck in an immigration line. So that's pretty key. I mean, a lot of it has to do too with with one card I can swap between airlines and kind of use points and hopefully get that first class upgrade. I mean, you're booking flights so late, a lot of times you end up just being in the worst seat in economy. But if you get enough frequent flyer miles and travel points and stuff, and you're always getting on a plane that's available.
Right.
So not normally on my preferred airline.
You'll be able to enjoy some of those perks, right?
It's the flexibility, but then on the flip side, with the family, I can kind of book everything through the card, everything, hotel, car, airplanes, everything. And then, it's just the kickback you get back, and hopefully I could put the wife in first class.
There you go. Upgrade the web. That is a
Smart man.
smart man. Kai Lenny is the FHB Priority Destination spokesperson and, of course, Hall of Fame over here. Big
There
wave
you go.
surfer.
I'm just blessed I get to go surf and live this dream. So I, count every day as a blessing.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing your dream with us. We
Right on.
appreciate it.
Mahalo.
I just think it's so funny that we have Kai Lenny here and we're talking about traveling, not surfing. But anyway,
You got to
next
come
time.
back for that. Yes, come back for that.
Coming